Hi, this is the Texas Weekly Newsreel. It has been a remarkably bad week for prosecutors and former prosecutors. Rosemary Lemberg, the DA in Travis County, was arrested, adjudicated, and jailed on charges of drunk driving.
But I have a bad back, and it hurts, and I'm fine. Leave me alone.
You're falling backwards. We don't want you to fall over.
I'm not going to fall.
She pled guilty. It didn't really go through court. And now there are some calls from a number of people, including the Austin American-Statesman, for her resignation. So it's something she'll be dealing with as she comes out of jail sometime between 21 and 45 days from now. One county to the north in Williamson County, Ken Anderson, the former DA, is charged with wrongful prosecution of Michael Morton, who spent 25 years in prison for the murder of his wife, which he didn't commit. Anderson says that the statute of limitations has expired, but again, there are calls for his resignation. He's now a state district judge, and that's going forward. The cleanup after the fertilizer explosion in West is well underway, and the conversation about regulation or the lack of it is starting. TCEQ Chairman Brian Shaw talked about that at a Trib Live event with Kate Galbraith this week.
It's been a bit concerning that on the heels of the tragedy, there were a number of articles that were suggesting that this is a failure of environmental regulations or regulation in general. We still had bodies that hadn't been recovered at that point. So it wasn't the right time for that. We're getting there. Specifically, as you look at what has happened and what we know and what have you. The facility located near town, actually when it was built in I think 62, was built about a mile north of town. And so town grew up around it, and the reason that's important is because we want to make sure we look at what other situations are out there and we understand what other potential tragedies there are that need to be avoided. Furthermore, it's also, we have many of these, hundreds of facilities like this across the state, and fortunately, they don't explode very often.
The Senate approved a constitutional amendment this week that would move $5.7 billion into water, transportation, and education from the state's rainy day fund. That's on its way to the House. The House undid the state lottery for a few hours this week and then put it all back in place like nothing happened. Just a reminder that this is the time of season when things can get weird in a hurry. That brings us to the deadlines calendar, which is looming over lawmakers. The last day to vote House bills out of committees is May 6th, meaning there's just a week left to get things moving there. Expect the halls to be full, the hours to be late. Other deadlines stack up right behind that one on May 9th. The House will have its last day to hear most House bills on the floor. Major bills can pass after that, but things are winding down in the session. There are just more than 4 weeks left. And that's this week's newsreel.